Fort Lauderdale Comic Con, and we're going to go in and take a look at a whole bunch of comic books, a whole bunch of other stuff, collectibles and things like that. Should be an interesting time, so we'll see you inside.
Great.
Right. Okay, so, all right, so we're here with Jenifer Castro, and Jenifer is an artist. She is the artist that does this comic book. Okay, so, and you said this was like on the top 10 list?
Yes, my comic is on the top 10 Sci-Fi on Global Comics' website, the most read, most popular.
Wow.
Yeah, this is something I've been working on for over 6 years with the plot, writing the story, and I started illustrating about 2 years ago.
Okay, so you're the author as well as inks and pencils and everything.
Yes, the writer, the illustrator, everything.
Okay, so when we got here, I noticed that you were doing some sketches on your computer, your notepad, and that was really cool. I was watching you work the styles and stuff, and that's how I figured out she was an artist. And can you believe it? I figured that out all by myself. Wow.
Yeah, it's all I do every day is work on the comic.
Well, that's fabulous. You got focused, though. I mean, so you're focused on what you're doing?
Yeah, it's my passion.
So do you like, you're pretty much the publisher if you put this up, you do this online, you said?
Yes.
Okay, and so where can people come to see you online and read this book?
Yeah, we're free to read on Webtoons app, on Global Comics app, and Nami Comics. So we're on 3 different apps that we can be read on.
Okay, okay. Is it English only or is it multilingual? Do you have other languages that you can publish?
As of right now, it's English only. Okay. We want to get it into other languages as well once we expand more.
Wow, cool. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so where can people get a hold of you if they want to on your website? Do you have one?
Yeah, well, mostly Instagram. Okay. So we're at Coexistence, the series on Instagram. And we're also on TikTok, YouTube, X. We have a Discord server, so we got everything.
Cool. All right. Well, Jenifer, thank you so much for talking to us today. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I really liked your art. It's really cool.
Okay, can we get a snippet of your art?
Oh, what, the one I'm working on right now?
It's up to you.
Spoilers, but it's fine.
All right, so we're going to get to see some of the pencils that she was doing here. This is very cool
the
stuff.
line art one, or?
Yeah, whichever you like.
I'll grab a one.
Okay. So you invented all of these characters.
Yep, all the characters I've created. So here's one of my favorite panels that I drew. Like the 2 characters are fighting here.
Oh, cool.
That's one of my favorite shots.
Oh, that is very cool.
What about the sketch you're working on?
The sketch one? Yeah, I can show you.
That is very cool.
So one I was currently working on was this one. It's very,
Okay.
Now what's going on here?
So this guy is he's planning something evil right now.
So he's not a good guy.
No, this guy's not good.
Okay.
No.
Does she know he's not a good guy?
The way he's holding her face,
Yeah.
it's like he wants her to look at him.
Yeah, because he's telling her his plan, his evil plans right now, what he's going to do.
Oh, boy. And that's coming out in a future...
This episode's probably not going to be out for like a few months.
Okay.
So
this is your thoughts.
This is the future.
Your thoughts are going right onto there. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah, I've met guys like him. I don't like guys like him.
Yeah, no, he's someone you should be afraid of.
Yeah, I don't like guys like him. Thank you so much for talking to us, Jenifer.
Thank you guys.
Thanks
a lot.
again. All right.
Introduce me. What's your name?
I'm Jose, the co-creator of Coexistence.
Okay, so you're the co-creator, so you help her write the scripts and stuff?
Yeah, polish it up, edit it, and stuff like that, and direction where everything's going to go.
Yeah, I've been telling people this. I actually have a very unique take on Thor.
Yeah.
Completely different from anything that Marvel did. Their idea of Thor is so far divergent from my own. So it's kind of cool. And it does have to be, I think it'll be a good story. Maybe I can contact you guys.
We're going to record it, and we'll send it to you.
Okay, so this is...
Cheshire.
Okay, Cheshire. And Cheshire looks like she's holding a Model 92 Beretta. Ooh. That's what it looks like.
Whose idea was that?
That's what it was? Yeah.
Is that your idea or was that your idea?
our idea. Very easy weapon to use.
It could have been a 1911, but you went with a Beretta.
I can tell you, if I can recognize what it is from a comic, you did a good job on it. The illustration is excellent. Really, you guys
She
did
got
great.
credit for it. Jennifer.
That's fabulous.
Jennifer's my daughter's name.
All right. You know, I used to be able to dance like that with my wife years ago.
Yeah, right.
No, I could. I was actually an excellent ballroom dancer. My grandmother taught me.
Oh, that's so cool. I wish I.
She was 4 feet 10 inches tall, so she was very, very short. And so she was the perfect partner for a young junior high school age kid because she was the same height as I was. And easy to learn from her. And she was a great dancer too. Very light on her feet. Oh, that's cool. Check that out. I love the cape. That's kind of cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. This guy definitely has a definite Anubis vibe to him.
Yeah, Egyptian inspired.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So check this one out. Is that cool or what? Yeah. So you got spider characters, and this one almost looks a little bit like an insect. Here, is this one an insectoid?
Yeah.
It's like a beetle.
Okay, it's like a beetle. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Not like the Beatles, but a beetle. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Because they don't look like John George, well, maybe Ringo, but just kidding. Just kidding. No, so this is like a male counterpart of,
Yes.
of this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you've got
The
male and
male version,
females
the
in the
female,
species.
yeah.
Do you do that with all your characters, or just
Yeah, I try to do,
one of each?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, very cool. Check it out. Wow, these are cool. These are really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind riding one of those. Or one of those. That'd be even more fun to ride. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh, check behind you. I love your ears, by the way.
Yeah, I love designing creatures and aliens. So that's one of my main, biggest inspirations to want to write this story.
Well, you need to make one that has a head like mine. Absolutely hairless.
I will.
I'm teasing you.
With the beard. White. Hint, hint.
Now dress him in a red coat and call him Santa Claus.
There's a lot of other action too to drive the story too. Like with,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Very cool.
a lot of human elements, a lot of alien elements as the story continues and stuff. So there's big shootouts and everything using real world guns and everything.
We're a good channel for you. Let me give you one of our cards.
Check this guy out here.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Very cool. All right.
What's his name?
Pax.
That's Pax.
I like him the best.
Pax.
He's our main character.
Yeah, the main
What is Pax drinking?
Quintessence.
Quintessence.
That's what the drink is called.
What's in it?
Yeah.
It's almost like a electric blue lemonade. I think the drink is called.
And when it's spiked, what do we call it?
It's already
It
spiked.
is. Yeah.
Already spiked.
Yeah, just favorite
What,
drink.
is it 90 proof?
It's human proof.
That's the way you gave him a scar. It gives him character.
Yeah,
That's very
there's
cool.
a reason he had that scar. There's an event that happens. And
Clearly somebody
What's
cut
the
him.
reason?
well, he had to read and find out.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's suspense.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Okay, so wow, check that out. Does this guy glow in the dark or bioluminescence?
Yeah, the little lights on him.
That's
It's a
very cool.
thermoslug.
All right. Is it intelligent?
He's a what?
It's called a thermoslug.
Thermoslug.
Yeah, he's a slug. He's garbage.
He eats garbage, yes, and he loves garbage.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah,
somebody's
he
got
picks
to
up
take care
on
of
the
it.
beach. He picks up the trash on the beach.
Oh,
and eats it.
nice. Oh, he's a good guy to have. We need him in Miami Beach.
Right?
And people don't realize the value of ants. They're a pain in the neck when they get in your house, that's true. But in the wild, they clean up all kinds of messes. You know, otherwise we'd be floating in all kinds of stuff.
So you say he's a
Yes.
big ant? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying he's a scavenger, which is a good thing because you need scavengers to clean things up. That's very forward thinking. That's
And they're
good.
cute, too.
Yeah, and they're cute. Exactly. Yeah. Now, see, I look at things from function, and you're saying the form. I guess that's the artist brain at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, these are just beautiful. So who is this?
She's not winking at you, by the way.
Oh, come on! I
That's
thought
Mizzy.
she was.
She's the galactic news reporter for the galaxy.
Okay.
Oh, the
Okay.
Galactic News Reporter.
All right.
Very
So does she
cool.
have a YouTube channel?
Maybe one day
I don't think we want the competition. Kidding.
she's gonna be out of this world.
Yeah, our broadcast would definitely be out of this.
Oh, this
Oh,
looks
look
cool.
at this guy, yeah.
Looks like he can fight Spider-Man.
Boy, I'll bet if he whacked you with that tail, that'd be quite a weapon.
Yeah, that's Cyrek. He hasn't shown up yet in the story.
Okay, so he's an
first look.
impending character. He's coming
Yes,
out.
he comes up way later in the story.
They had like promotion on when the Alien movie came out. It's something we did.
A little dark, I'm sure, but yeah.
Yeah. So you guys like have multiple episodes already planned out?
Yeah, we have
Everything is straight.
multiple seasons already planned out.
Oh, that's cool. That's very
Yes.
cool.
I can see a movie coming next.
Oh, we would love, that's our dream, is to become like a TV show. It's
That would be
animated
lovely,
series.
yeah.
Yes, that's my dream.
Yeah, I can see a lot of these as anime characters. Really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, you're gonna get global exposure on this channel.
Yeah, you're
within a
definitely gonna
month.
get some global exposure. We've got followers that are in Russia. Right now they're blocked because of the Russian government. We've got some in China. Right now they're blocked, but we have a lot of them in Germany and in Australia. And it's kind of a bunch in England. And it's kind of cool talking to people. They'll
is
write
cool.
me about things that I put in my show. I'll give you an example. Okay, if you are in Alaska, in that bitter cold up there, and you use the wrong grease in your gun, the wrong oil in your gun, it will freeze and the gun will not function. Okay, and that's just a fact. Here in South Florida, humidity is so bad, it's so high. When you walk out the door with your firearm, you come out of your 75-degree air conditioning, and in the summertime you walk into 95-degree heat, and the air is very wet. What happens? The gun immediately sweats. It's not just on the outside, it's on the inside where all those
Condensation.
springs and all those things are, and they rust. So here, I use a lot more oil to lubricate things than most people do. If you're out west, if you use as much oil as I use, your gun is eventually going to attract dust and it's going to lock up out there and it isn't going to work right. So you need to look at lubrication based on where you physically are in the country. If you're like in South Carolina, Barrier Islands, if you're here in South Florida, Brownsville, Texas, all these places have really high temperature and really high humidity, and you're going to have an issue. It's just something you have to deal with. So I did show on this, and I physically showed how I take the gun out of the case, it just immediately is wet. Just immediately, the water just starts running off. So I'm glad I did it, because one of the viewers wrote in and said, you know, I thought you were crazy, but now that I've seen it with my own eyes, I understand. And I've had others tell me, oh no, you're completely crazy. If you do that to your gun, it's going to lock up. Down here it won't. Other places it definitely will. So, but it's just kind of interesting the things people write in, and I get them from all over the world. I've had them
That's
come
something
in.
you don't think about either.
Right,
That's
and then-
something that comes across.
And you
like
wonder why, like, some people think that their gun's gonna work and it jams on them.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
'cause
reason.
It's not lubricated properly, or it got wet inside, and it was rusty, and it isn't doing what it's supposed to do.
So-
it's just nature down here, you
So
know.
Bill, we got the artists, the two artists here. You know, I see there's a blank page here.
Do you do any of the artwork as well?
No.
Okay,
Well,
that's
so-
for sure.
So here she is looking at you. Would he be like a villain or a hero in your book? This kind of character.
I'd say
Really?
yeah,
A what?
a hero.
A hero?
A hero.
A hero.
How you like
Ooh,
that?
look at that, a hero. Okay.
Put on my background. Okay, you can kill that now. So you guys do children's books and things like that?
Yeah, I write them.
Uh-huh.
And my son Keith illustrates them.
Okay,
as
so
well
he's your
as-
illustrator?
Yep, as well as comics and graphic novels. But this is something we worked on together for about 10, 15 years.
Cool. That's really
He does
neat.
our son does a regular podcast, YouTube video called Wednesday Night Review.
Okay.
And it's on Thursday nights.
Okay, and he reviews comic books and...
No, he
No,
does,
he's
he actually
he's
do
being
draws
reviewed.
on screen.
Okay.
Because he's got the setup while he's interviewed by a fellow named Conrad, who's
Okay.
an expert in comics. And they just carry on a conversation about the comic world,
Well, that's very cool. Yeah.
illustration world.
mainly what I do are firearms related videos. I'm ex-cop, ex-SWAT team sniper, all that.
Ex-CBP.
Yeah, so
He's ex-military.
yeah, well, thanks for your service, guys. We
Yeah, thank you.
But that's mainly what I do, but this is also an interest, so we do these two, and we're getting ready to start a second channel. And on the second channel, we're going to be doing auto shows.
Our card. Please like and subscribe.
Things like that.
You will be on the next video that we do in about 2 or 3 weeks.
It doesn't mix well on one channel. They just don't give a crap about comic books. If it's not a target, they're not interested. So, you know, that's just how some shooters are. But, you know.
Well, this is obviously mainly for people with children.
Right, exactly, yeah. So if you're on a firearms channel, this would be kind of out of place for that.
But we do safety too. I mean, it's not just, you know.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I actually got into doing this.
You're providing a service.
Yeah, so we're trying.
Well, there are a lot of parents who own guns. My grandson's parents own guns, so it's not, you know.
It's not a complete shutout, that's true. But, I mean, we do get some traffic on these, but I think we'd get them better if we were on a separate channel.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, I think you would build a clientele in that area if you had a separate channel that dealt specifically with that.
Well, this is you know, for children,
Right.
and it rhymes and it tells a moral. So it's
There are no guns in these books.
no.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Because you know, gun and fun rhymes too. But
Yes.
Yeah, but the characters get into dangerous situations that they have to get out of.
They
It's fun.
de-escalate with their words.
right.
Yes.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's never a bad
and, teaches kids how to read because it's in rhyme. So it's easier for them to learn how to read.
Okay. This is Amy and Liam's contact information. So you like guns too. So you were in the military.
I was.
And what branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Army.
You were in the Army?
My dad was
cool.
in the Army.
Yeah, his dad was Army. My grandfather served in World War II, or excuse me, World War I. Yeah, and he was all of 5 feet tall even.
I must have been sucks in the
And
trench.
so, of course, they gave him a gun called a BAR.
Oh, yeah.
18 pounds. Yeah, so he's carrying this monstrosity. And that was unloaded, by the way. So,
Well, if it was Vietnam, he'd going through tunnels.
come think of it, I'm telling you wrong. It's like 22 pounds, 21, 22 pounds now. If he'd have been Vietnam, he'd have been a tunnel snake.
Tunnel
Yeah,
rat, yeah.
absolutely would have been.
So you're Benjamin.
I am.
All right, so Benjamin, so tell us what you guys do. You guys also do children's books? Or?
No, these are for adults. I actually started as an author. So these are actually novels. The size came out a little bigger. I go through KDP.
Okay.
Some of the fans liked it that way, so I kept it like that.
Okay.
So I was originally a novelist. But, you know,
Well, that's kind of novel, going from the military. Sorry, I couldn't resist the pun.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to a more visual medium, so I'm on social media a lot. And so a couple artists approached me. One of them was Cal Nieves from Brazil. He said, "Hey, I read your book, and what would you like? How would you like doing a comic book adaptation to it?" I said, "Fine, yeah. I mean, cool. I'm not like a comic book scriptwriter. I don't write for it. So there's a
Come on,
manuscript. This is the hardcover. You'll be okay. It's the hardcover.
It's hard doing everything with one hand.
That and you're just plain clumsy.
So I had already written my first and second novel before this one. This is actually my first novel. I actually sold out my first novel. You can get it on Amazon. And he wanted to do an adaptation. And I said, let's do it. He wanted to do a full graphic novel, but my book is like 200 pages long. And it would take forever. So I said, let's try to do an issue format.
Right.
And it's been going pretty good. I just started doing the Comic Cons like the end of last year. But mostly book fairs. I was at the Miami Book Fair. I did okay. So I'm still trying to navigate this comic book thing. It's different rules in novels, you know.
Yeah, it's a different world.
You write a manuscript, you talk to a publisher, they do the book cover. You know, you do most marketing, they do book cover, editing, all that. Comic book's a little different. I got to do more of my own editing. You know, they just draw it.
Yeah.
He draws it, and that's it. I got to figure out everything. which is good. So I actually have a lot of stories. I actually work on another one called Exorcist Training Day. And so I'm working another artist working on that. That's going to be a graphic novel. So I'm just going between the novel and comic book world and seeing, see where it goes.
Yeah.
So this is like my 4th Comic-Con. I'm pretty new to this.
Okay. So you're comparatively new to the Comic-Cons, but not to writing.
No, not new to writing. Actually, I'm kind of new to writing. I've only been doing this like 3 years.
Oh, really?
I was in the military 23 years. And I didn't have time.
Yeah.
I was too busy, shooting bad guys.
Yeah.
So I decided, a lot of free time. I have a day job. I'm in IT. So I have a lot of free time now. I always wanted to write a novel. Everybody says they always wanted to write a novel. Let me just write one and see what. What's Paradise of Wolf? Basically about werewolf serial killer in Miami area. Even if you took the supernatural part away, it'd still be a procedural type crime drama. You have a killer. They don't know who it is. It could be anybody. That's the antagonist of the book. The protagonist is Chelsea Villanueva. She's actually a Cuban, third generation Cuban immigrant. And she is a bruja from southern Florida. You're familiar with that is. Pretty much their version of a witch. And then, certain things come to pass, and their inevitable clash between the two to see who wins in the battle between the two without any spoilers.
Can I get your card? I like to.
Yes, right there.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay, is there well, see if we can get close and we can get some information.
What's your website?
www.benjaminjburton.com.
Great.
And I'm also on all the social. I'm on Twitter.
Thank you so much.
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm on IG. Benjamin J. Burton will come up. Also,
Did you do Botan or?
Yeah.
Really, you did Botan?
He's
Oh,
into
very
this stuff.
cool. Yeah.
I'm recording.
Okay, so what many of you may not know is that I'm heavy into anime. I love anime. I enjoy it. It's a really cool way to tell stories that are more difficult to tell with live action characters. It'd be very difficult to have a live action character riding on a broom all over town and all over the underworld and everything else. That'd be kind of tough, Okay, so you were the voice of this character.
That's correct.
Botan.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that is very cool. Okay, now this was from a series called Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay, and Elise Baughman also worked on that, as I recall. Okay, so Elise Baughman is another star that we interviewed a while back. All right, I forgot to say that we're here with Cynthia Cranz, okay, and she's the voice of Botan, like we said. So, Cynthia, can you do some Botan for us here?
Sure. Bingo, you win the prize.
That's definitely her. That's exactly what she sounded like. I remember her saying something almost exactly like that.
That's when Yusuke says, unless I'm dead, and she's like,
Yep. Okay, so the storyline on this is this guy, he gets killed, and he's hit by a car. But he's kind of this tough guy that likes to fight with everybody. He's constantly causing trouble. And so when he dies, he isn't really sure what's going on. He doesn't realize he's dead. And that's when the character Botan tells him just what he just said.
and then she says, Botan's the name, pilot of the river Styx.
That's fantastic. I love this. This is very cool. So how long have you been doing cartoon voices and anime voices?
Since 1999.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, for me that's not very long ago.
It doesn't seem so to me either.
Yeah,
Me neither.
I remember things a lot further back than
I do too.
I was-
It seems like recent history to me.
I think I was 17 at the time.
I was 30.
Oh, that's cool.
I did not know what anime was. I was just a working actor, and it was just another audition, and I fell into it.
That's very cool. Elise Baughman told a similar story. She started out in Hollywood and she made a couple of major motion pictures.
Yeah.
I guess time catches up with all of us, and she just kind of fell into the voice acting thing. It started out as one thing and it just grew and grew and grew from there.
Exactly.
Wow. So you guys are kind of your own little world. Really, I mean, the rest of Hollywood is one thing. And
pretty good space.
they kind of have the option of being able to physically act things out and portray their emotions that way. And with you guys, everything is done with your voice.
However, I will say in the booth, I use my body. I look at the picture and see how the character's standing, you know, and I emulate that because that really does help. Most of us were actors doing theater, commercials, film, and so, you know, you kind of take all of that with you. I'd say the biggest challenge is matching the flaps. We don't have the freedom to say the line the way we would like to. We have to match those voice flaps, those mouth
That makes sense to me, yeah. So do you get like a graph of how they're moving, or do you just watch the film?
Oh, you don't even get, I literally call you in. And you get in the booth, and they cue it up, and you've got your lines on one screen and the picture on the other. They show you the scene once in Japanese while you try to look at your line and look at what's happening there. Then you do it. There's no rehearsal.
Sounds like quite a challenge.
There's no memorization. Yeah, but it's a fun challenge.
It's a mouthful. All right, you ready? Yeah. Hey, we're here with Bill. I know it's a little strange, Bill and Bill, so hopefully everybody likes to pay their bills. That's always a good thing if they do it. We like that. And Bill is with a group called the Paranormal Existence Research Society. Correct. Or PERS for short.
Yes.
So tell us about what you guys do.
So I'm a world famous paranormal investigator, parapsychologist and demonologist. I've been in the field for 35 years. We go around and help people in their homes who believe they're haunted. My team is a world-renowned paranormal research team. We are full non-profit. We don't charge for any investigations that we do. We are there to help people. We have team members all over Florida, Georgia, Nebraska, the UK, Italy, Greece, and this year Brazil. So we try to, and I also work, I'm a director for the Warren Legacy Foundation, which carries on the legacy of Ed and Lorraine Warren, The Conjuring, Amityville, Annabelle, all those things. So we work with their families. We have about 100 people across the world on that team that help people also. So I've been investigating for 35 years, and I'm also a demonologist, so I'm brought in to help assess cases that could be demonic. You know, because that is a rare part of it, not as much as, you know, TV has you thinking, but it's there.
Well, that was my question, because TV, you can't really rely on a lot of what you see on TV. My question that I wanted to ask you was, how do you determine when a case is legitimate, when somebody contacts you, and when it's just somebody
playing around?
Or
just scared.
Or just scared, yeah. Doesn't really know what they're looking at.
That's where the years of experience come in, because when you go to a person's home, I always tell people the hardest thing we have is not the ghosts, not even the demons. It's convincing people they're not haunted. Because they watch TV and they see all kind of things that they think they're experiencing. So I've also been in the technology field for over 33 years. So I have a lot of knowledge on how equipment works, how things can cause false positives. So we go in very, very skeptical, and we try to debunk everything first to natural causes before we claim paranormal. When it goes to the demonic, completely different side of it. There's a lot of tests that we do to see if it could be demonic. You know, I like TV. I'm on a couple of shows. I've been on stuff. You got to understand what's entertainment and what's not. Right. You know, and it's all fun. And I tell people, hey, you want to do this, get into it. But don't go into people's homes and try to help people unless you know what you're doing. Because that's where it could get dangerous. And that's where you can harm someone.
Right there. I agree. Years ago, I was working at an airport, and in the metal hangar, when the sun would shine on the metal hangar walls, they would expand and contract, and it would literally sound like people were whispering in the back of the hangar, but nobody was there.
Right.
And so some of the guys were very convinced that it was haunted.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was just the steel walls expanding and contracting.
There's a lot of natural causes.
There are a lot of natural causes, which is what I was coming to. So how do you determine, how do you eliminate the things that are not real, that you know are natural causes from things that are real?
Well, when we go into a house, let's say it's a person's home, they're telling us their whole story, they're telling us what's going on, where it happened, we'll go around and use I only use certain equipment in a person's home. Audio, video, and environmental stuff. Things that do temperature changes, EMF energy, things like that. I don't use stick figures and things like that for a person's home.
No voodoo dolls?
No voodoo dolls. Okay. But we'll go in and what we look for is intelligent responses. Things that will respond to us by audio. Video is very hard to get. Audio is more what I think is the go-to evidence. We also use our natural instincts. I have psychics on my team, mediums that are very, very good, and we can sense what's in there, and then we can help the person in what we feel. We're not going to go by somebody's little picture of they caught an orb or they have this. We know that most of that is not real. So we have to do what we feel is right. You know, to help somebody is very, very different. When we go out to a public location, an abandoned location or a known, we bring a lot of equipment. We have a lot of fun, and we do research trying to. This field has no 100%.
Right.
And it needs all. It really does. I mean, I have 100% proof because I've been involved in cases. I was knocked 30 feet across a room during a demonic case. So I know what it was, but we don't have it to prove, you know. So the field needs a lot of proof, and the TV is fun, but it can confuse people sometimes.
Right.
Same thing with the internet.
Right.
You know, TikTok will confuse you, you know, 100%. There are people on there that believe they have things in their house and opening the doors, and it's a lot of it is not real. You know?
Yeah. All right. So can you tell us about this little doll, Robert here? What is the significance of this?
This is a replica of Robert the doll. He's about 110 years old. He is considered the most haunted doll in the world.
Really?
Yes. He resides down in Key West in the Fort Martello Museum. The thing behind Robert is you have to be respectful to him, and you have to ask permission to take his photo.
Okay.
If not, they say
Okay.
If not, they say bad things can happen to him.
Why
Not
ask
the
him?
replica, but the real one.
Okay, so this is a replica. The real one is in Key West.
Yes.
In the Keys.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. And so, what kind of stuff is he known to do to people that don't speak to him politely?
Everything you can think of. They have, I believe, tens of thousands of handwritten letters all at the museum that were people that disrespected him and then wrote to him begging for his forgiveness.
Really?
When I do lectures, I talk about Robert a lot because I know David Sloan, who takes care of him, I wrote the book on him. I've been down there many times. Everybody has a story. Everything. I've heard everything from, the car wouldn't start. I had some bad luck to my wife was killed on the way home because she disrespected in a car accident. Could it be coincidence? Could be. But 35 years doing this, I don't test that theory.
I can understand that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Bill, we'd like to thank you very much for talking to us. We appreciate it. And we'll see you a bit later. All right. Hey, everybody. We're here with Andrea Molinari. Okay, Andrea Molinari is the author of the Shepherd series. Okay, these are some books that he's written. He's also the director of editing for Scout Comics, Fort Myers area.
Yes.
Okay. And you also are the publisher on these books?
Oh, I'm not the publisher. No, I'm just the editorial director.
Okay.
I've edited most of the books on this table, and many more. I've done about 180 titles for Scout so far since 2020 when I took over.
Okay, so Scout is the actual publisher?
Right, Scout's the publisher.
All right, okay, now I understand. Great. Fantastic. So, can you tell us about your book? What is it about?
So, The Shepherd is a supernatural thriller. It's basically a series of ghost stories. There's a family tragedy in the first volume that ends up leading to the main character, Dr. Lawrence Miller, ending up up in the afterlife.
Okay.
Once he's in the afterlife, he begins to help other souls that have suffered tragedies and help them get to where they need to go in the afterlife, to basically get to resolution.
Sounds cool.
I've always been fascinated with hauntings, the idea of haunting, and the idea that a ghost is haunting a particular place because there's unresolved things that need to be resolved. But once those things are resolved, the ghost is able to move on. So that's kind of the base premise of what we do with our stories, is we basically, the shepherd works to help souls resolve the things that need to be resolved, and then so that they can move on.
Okay, and these other books these are comics of different authors?
Different authors from all over the world. Like this, I've edited these, as I said. Cities of Magic is, that's an English team that put that together. Triskele is Brazilian. Tales of Volcania and Kitsune are both Italian teams. Trakovi is from Edmonton, Canada. This is Calgary, Canada is this particular book.
Okay, so these are from all over the world.
All over the
People
world,
are
literally.
sending this stuff to Scout.
Montreal.
Okay, and you edit?
And I edit, work with the creative teams, help them get their books ready to be published.
So you're like, you said you were like their sergeant, so what do you do?
Yeah, basically, every team that comes to me comes at a different place in their development. Some of them the books are already done, they basically need me to do a proofread and then hand it off to be published.
Okay.
But others have basically 6 finished pages that they made for a pitch, and then they need somebody to work with them on their scripts. I mean, it's called developmental editing.
Right.
And you're writing your scripts, then handing those scripts over to the artist, who then does it panel by panel, page by page, issue by issue. And then as we work through those things, then we hand all that over to the publisher, who will then put it out there, solicit it to the comic book shop to put it out there.
Okay, and do they have a separate company that actually does the pressings? Or?
Yes, there's a company called Comic Impressions over in Cape Coral.
Okay.
It's on the other side of the state, and they're about 5 or 6 miles away from our HQ, and they handle all the printing.
Did you guys get hit kind of bad during the hurricane?
Oh yeah, there's not this most recent hurricane, but the one before that, his name escapes me right now, but it ripped off part of the roof on the printer, and they had water.
Was it Ian?
Pardon?
Ian?
I think that might have been Ian, yeah.
Might have been Ian.
But they ripped off part of the roof. I was over there to see the aftermath, and it was a mess. They had to rip up all the carpet because they had I think 12 inches of water in there. And so that the last one, there was light damage. HQ has gotten off, relatively easily. We've had light damage to the exterior of the building, but luckily not to the main warehouse, which is really great because it's the warehouse that holds all the back stock of the comics. So if we would have gotten water or leakage from the roof there, it would have been catastrophic.
Right, that would have been huge. Yeah, well, but everybody came out of it alive, so that's
a plus. So.
There were some that didn't, and for those we feel bad for them. I wish we could change that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not the master of nature.
Nope, me either.
Might make a good comic though. All right, so we'll move on to the next place. Hey everybody, Bill 1911 here. Hey listen, if you're watching this video, if you're enjoying it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? That's really important to us. And make sure you like us, and by all means, come to visit us at askbill1911.com.